Does that look better? See, it's just the way you should be. Looking up at me. How's that for a little bit of a better set? Hang on, try it again. Where's my son, Chris? Where are you? Anybody there? Oh, but yeah. Oh, that's better. What do you reckon? Does that look better? A bit uphill. Righto. Moomba Live. Oh, yeah, that's me. Well, that's the one that was just cancelled. Anyway, how are we all going? Everybody's out there? Well, that's Moomba Live. We're not on up there now. We'll go over here. Now, this is a video I wanted to show people. We forgot to put this. This is what I was actually looking for when I was trying to find the Woomba train. So that. Now, and this is down at Booyong. But like the Northern Rivers today, the large section of casino Moomba rolling lines are still in very good condition. Trades could reintroduce without much problem. Now, where's Griffin Rail? We should get Griffin Rail up there. You get up there with his lawnmower. So Griffin Rail, hurry up, get up there with your lawnmower. I know Griffin Rail, wonder what it is. He loves these trains. Don't know anything about him, but he's a train nut. Like all of us, we're all train nuts. Man, that's a windy day. Let's just pause it there for a minute. What did I just say? It's a very windy day. So, very windy day, very rainy day, rail trail. You're right. Are you really going to be riding along there on a push bike? I don't think so. So Casino Lismore, there's virtually no bridges, which is quite correct. There's only 3 little concrete pylon ones, if my memory serves me right. This is a new in-your-face screen. INYOUR-FACE-SCREEN, which is no less than Neil Battersby, in your face. Now, can anybody see what's up there on the left? See, that's the old railway station. That's where they used to pass. See, so that obviously was Booyong. Here's the Booyong Bridge. So Booyong is after Lismore. The ARUP report commissioned in the current state government 2000 state putting 7.25 million per kilometre. Well, that's all right. They just spent $5 billion on a road bridge. That's all lies. That's a beautiful country, but really, really use that as a rail trail. In comparison, Byron Bay Resorts is refurbishing 3 kilometres of track and run a train service of $300,000 per kilometre. And again, hang on a minute, let's back that up a bit. Let's get those facts. In comparison, the local Byron Bay Resort is refurbishing 3 kilometres of track to a train service at $300,000 per kilometre, and the Glen in Central Australia, which was built over very harsh terrain, from $1,000 per kilometre. So it's $500,000 extra per kilometre. It was bare dirt. Well, no, it's not bare dirt, because look, the train tracks are there. Therefore, the costing of $7.5 million per kilometre for a refurbishing this line is ludicrous. So how could it cost Byron Bay Railway $300,000 per kilometre, and yet the other government mob said it's going to be $7.5 million per kilometre? How does that work? Are they trying to say all the bridges are just going to fall down? No, because they're the 131 bridges. There's only 5 that really need work on. 5. And 2 of those have already been knocked down by vandalism or by ARTC. One was burnt down at Mooball, and the other one there at Stoker Siding, which is taken away, and the other one's there under Tweed City Council, which is on the other side of Holes Road, which is on their ground. So it's got nothing to do with it now, because Tweed City Council will let them wear the cost of cleaning out all the lantana. I hope they get fined by the government, by the Environmental Society. What, did you see that? What was it? Did you see it? You missed it, didn't you? Is that 855 or 866 on the mileage marker over there on the left-hand side? Some little vandal right over the top of it. Oh, there we go. Can you see it? 855, 855 Ks. So we're at 105. Is Billy Nudgel. 896 or 886. 886 is Byron Bay. So 11 K south of that, it's about 866. It's 11. What's that? 866. Byron Bay's 863. Bangalow is 858. So this is somewhere Bangalow, or what again, as I said, out there at see it on the big TV set. I don't know if you can. It's where's my pointer? I'm pointing at it. Where's my pointer going? Oh, sorry. It's over there, that white patch. I can read it, you can't. Let me see if I can just turn the camera over there. You see it now? 841 or 811. 855 anyway. Regular meters and combined motivated investment. That's right, that's what they need. Sydney and Melbourne. Well, they're very good. Now, you want to know the difference between other country towns? Now, this is the Northern Rivers, right? That's the Northern Rivers. Now, let me show you the New England Railway. This is Inverell. There's nothing left. It's all gone. It's all made out of wood. There's no steel sleepers. Right. Now, that's Glen. Now, you might notice in that far left-hand corner, there's a sign down there that says Tui's. The guy actually ran a pub out of there for a period of time many years ago, and eventually he ended up just giving it all away. He gave it away, he walked away. So then they had a miniature railway club, and then they used to make the bus. Can you see the light blue rail, the blue railway sign? Now dead centre of screen. Yeah, well, the bus doesn't go in there anymore. It goes down the main street. So no, it doesn't go there to Glen. And to the right of that building, up in the dead end siding, is a burnout train carriage. So you used to have a pub there. They had little goes 0 degrees there during winter. Just had the wire fence if you do a parking car. Two triple R restaurants, drink and drive, drink and ride. Oh, there it is down there. You see it? Just over there, behind that dirt pile, there's a burnout train carriage. And then they lock the points to go directly north. See, that's what they do. They lock the points before they go. But up the left there's a burnout train carriage. Well, I don't know, this guy might show it. There it is. God, I'm good. Yeah, that's Griffin Rail's new train. Yeah, we're going to buy for him. Now, what do you notice about deep water that you can't see on camera? There's power lines going into it down the back there, because it's also the local model railway and FM radio station. If you actually look on top of the chimney over there, there's an FM radio station tower. So that's deep water. The other pictures, that one is creamy colour. But see where it's got all the different coloured browns on it? That's because of graffiti artists. Typical. Yeah, walked down there many a time. Yep, walk right down there. My favourite bridge. Go down to my channel, you see this one. Yeah, they call it Sunnyside. It's not really. It's really Tenterfield Creek. It's at Sunnyside, but the name of the creek is Tenterfield Creek, Tenterfield River. And where this guy is standing, he's standing Which side is he standing on? He's standing on. Oh, he's standing over there on the main road. Now, you see the lumps of wood on top of the bridge? Over there? Over there on the... What's my finger? There. There. I'm being funny. They're the same lumps of wood. They're still there in my video. They were still there 4 years later. And yeah, that's got... Hang on, when was this filmed? 2020. Yes, I was there after that. Sunnyside. There's the mileage marker lying down on the tracks. Hey, Wallangarra. There's the restaurant over there in the background. See? Historical railway, it's open. That's the other end. It used to be a great big tree to see it. Yeah, it used to be a great big bloody tree. Now, you want to know how I can say it's my railway station? Because I'll show you. I meant a bit of funny because nobody's on the channel, nobody's talking to me on live stream. So I'm just going to party on all by myself, and you blokes can watch all this later on when you're bored. And I keep telling people, I helped build Tenterfield railway station. So here we go. Oh God, man, this is way back through the pandemic. Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. No, it's after Zigzag, wasn't it? Yeah, I did. I ducked up there after that, didn't I? Oh, where I am. Where's my cowboy at? Yeah, there's that, there's that, there's that, there's that. No. I'm just having fun with you because you blokes aren't on the channel. Oh, look, there's Mr. Dog. Oh, there you go, Smarties. There's Capity, and there's Ben Bullen when I was getting this paint job. Man, I get around, and look, there's a possum. New possums. Oh, by the way, see that historical Burke and Wills tree, Blue Mountains Explorers? That's gone now. They knocked it on the head. They took it away. And that's Noon's Junction after the 2000 bushfires. And, oh, you want to see the Byron Bay train before it comes the Byron Bay train? Yeah, this is the Byron Bay train before it comes a solar powered train. You want to check this out? All you know-alls. Griffin Rail. You haven't seen this one before. So that Griffin Rail, that's you. So we all know the Byron Bay solar powered train railway. There's the train video. Just to show you something.
In December 2017, the Byron Bay...
Right, let's have a look. People don't realise this about Byron solar power train. It's all the solar panels on top of the shed. You don't see that when you stand down there on the platform. But they also give power back to the local grid, power grid. Now there's a train there with the solar panels on it. And just for the record, because people say, oh, you sure that's the same train? Well, let's have a look. Just back it up a bit.
In December 2017, the Byron Bay...
We know that. Where's the number? Just give us a number, mate.
The Byron Bay Railroad Company searched the country and found a dilapidated vintage train called a Red Rattler and spent $4 million.
What a bloody idiot. It's not a Red Rattler, it's a Red Diesel. Who does it? 726. 726. Right. 661. I really wish people wouldn't call this Red Rattlers. To me, they are not the Red Rattlers. The Red Rattlers were the really red, the electric trains in Sydney, built back in the 1930s or door handles and slide people used to fall out. And the train driver could fall out because he used to sit. Move it on a bit. All right, so talk about solar power train. Here we go. Mr. Dog just walked in and said, hello, Crudon. Well, Erwing, see? Well, Erwing, we're going to have a cup of coffee. What's the number on the train? 661. Railway, right? Let's watch. Same train. This is when it was under diesel. 726. There you go. 726 at Wallangarra. If you look there how left the people are, have a look. That's a coffee shop. Now 726, 700 there's is the coffee shop where all the people are standing. That's why I see a white window. That's where the toilet is. So there's the loop. There's the dry car. There's the radiators. 661. 601. 661. Look how quiet that is. Now that video there, A to Z railway videos. Right, now let's get off that one there and I'll show you something else about it. What else wants to know something else there about Wallangarra? Right where they're filming that. Oh, come back that. Oh, here. This is my one, right? You want to see my one? Where is Jennings Railway? Righto. This is my railway museum. You ready for it? I did this here for Griffin Rail. So look, Griffin Rail, trivia question, right? Oh, the driverless train. Now, please tell me, is this a driverless train or is it a tram? Train. Where is it? Must be way back here. Hang on. Now, if anybody's never ever seen the driverless train in Sydney, if you're walking into this debate, this is how it comes on. This is what they call a train. It's not, it's a tram. You sit sideways. For an hour and a half. Look how long it is. So those last days, that's what they're going to put in down there at Marrickville. All that sort of crap. Oh, here we go down the escalator. That'll work. Right, let's start from there. So you got the glass doors on the platform. So what you do, see, you're allowed to get on. And people call this a train. I don't call it a train, I call it a tram. You're sitting sideways. Isn't that what a tram is? Let's get in and have a look up the tram. See what happens here? The glass door shut on the platform. And the glass door then shut on the train. Tram. I've refused to call it a train. I still call it a tram. There's no here. Completely computer operated. If I end up going for a tram ride, that's it. So if you want to see what it looks like looking in front of a tram, this is the best one to catch if you want to look down at rails. Look how long they are. Look how long that thing is over there. Nobody either.
Couldn't just don't get it. Would you like to sit on this for an hour and a half? Look how long it is.
Now here comes the
So this is
Indian
the
guy,
safety doors.
and he sticks up for it, and I didn't
This one
realise he
really,
worked there,
there's a
and he's an
stop
Indian.
running.
You watch him.
And getting onto the tracks.
You watch his prejudiced voice when I challenge him a bit.
I just,
Are you making a documentary or something?
yeah, I just told us I do trains all over New South Wales. So you want to talk on it? The camera's on now. Do you want to talk on it? Like, no.
But I can tell you, I love this trains. These are the best trains. And
You like them,
futuristic trains.
futuristic, but you also work for the company, as you just said. It's on your shirt, Holstrom. But you never heard the report where the train went up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down between two stations, and it was in the newspapers. Never heard about it. Oh, well, anyway, just they are nice. It is clean stations. I'll give them that. They are a clean train. I'm not
Clean
giving you that,
station, yeah.
but to
Clean
me,
train, but no
sitting
thanks.
sideways, I can't do it.
Some people don't like it, some people do. I like it.
But
See,
This is
some
the big
people
problem.
don't like
I
it.
always say
So
to
why
people-
run a train that people don't like?
right, and just I think there's a lot of people. Who pays for the railways? The taxpayer. Who rides the railways? The taxpayer. So shouldn't the taxpayer be happy? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna fix it.
There he is in the glass, see? He's an
Oh,
idiot.
you're gonna get in the back. Yeah, he's going down the. I'm not gonna show his face. No, he's going down the back. So yeah. So there's going to be one. I'm not gonna put. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15 people just got off the one train. I think that's all. Yeah, 15 people on one train. So that guy there, he was Indian. He told me he was from India, and he said they got all through India. And
India,
his
he's
name
Indian.
is- Say hi to my neighbour. Let's have a look at this. Hold my hand, son. You make me happy, proud of myself. G'day, mate. I'm more relaxed now. Let's make more today great. Say hi to my neighbour. What's this one? Let's catch a movie. Feeling is mutual. That's more than enough. Tap on and tap off with my opal. So much to see. Take me to the city. You know what the problem is? The train doesn't go to the city yet. Anyway, this is it. All this great big timber. They did, I will admit, they did a lovely job building it. But his excuse was, the man I was talking to, who works for the company, and he's also Indian because they are from India. So I'm going to be blunt. He's prejudiced. It's going to be prejudiced. He said these trains are better than the double-decker trains, where you face forward, more leg room, and you don't sit sideways.
But he also said
So-
too, if you listen back on the tape, he said, not everybody likes them. So if they're so great, why aren't they in India? Why does India Railways still have a lot of the old trains around? Why aren't these trains in India? That's what I don't get. Why aren't they over there in India? Why is the Indian government paying to get this type of railway set up? No thanks. But they can keep it. As I said, what I'd do if I was in power, I'd just rip it up. Now, I turned about Riverstone. I said how Riverstone in my last live stream, I said used to be the dock platform, and they filled up the train tracks and turned it into a car park. This is it. Okay, let's just get out of that. Let's see. Driving down to Riverstone, where I used to work. Where am I? Am I close? I look like I'm getting close.
Why can't they have the same?
How many people? What's this? I don't know.
Right, around the back, not the old dock platform.
34 views. Gladys, the driver of the train, Callawam, Schofields, Riverstone Railway Station story.
Dock platform. Used to be a big set of.
Right. See if I'm quite there yet.
Sign. Now they've got a traffic light. Look at all the traffic now coming down that road. Come back and
See, people don't realise just down there was the old Schofields train station.
You went? Yeah, we right around the back, not the old dock platform. Now I don't see this. See the white paint down there? That's the old end of the dock platform. Used to be a big set of timbers across there. This is the story. One day I come in here and I was a 14-year-old kid and I wanted to have my big water pipe back.
Now, hear this.
And our Paul said to me, he said, come in there through the car park, bring your water pipe in, put it through the centre train driver's door, put it in the last carriage of the train. He said, what I'll do, he said, I'll lock all the side doors and the centre doors in the middle of 622. He said, you sit in 622 with your pipe hanging out the driver's door. So then what he did, he locked in the middle 622's door, the other side door, and the middle train driver's door. So if you're looking at the driver's cab, here's where the train driver sits. There's a door here in the middle, the gap between the carriages, and you got the guard's window. That there was left open. I slipped my water pipe in there, right there, right where those cars are sitting. I was 14 years old. And when I got to East Richmond, I climbed out this front end door out on the platform, up down on the train tracks, walked round to the front of the train, grabbed the water pipe, slid it out, and then as I dropped it on the track in between the rails, it's not electrified, it's not like an American train, and it didn't interfere with the signalling because we didn't have the signals connected between the rails. It was an electric star, a different system. And I put my hand up over the platform and it went right like that. And went whoop, whoop, in the train, and he drove away. And then as the train went across the level crossing at East Richmond, I walked down the train tracks and walked home up the footpath with my big long water pipe. I was 14 years old. That's the day.
So if you don't get the story, with 622, down the driver's cab, there's a centre door where you walk between the two carriages. Our police undone that, locked the driver's cab, locked the two side doors, either side of the driver's cab in the guards area, or where you walk in off the platform on the left and on the right side. Then he went down and he locked the two side doors before you go through the middle of the train, and then he locked the middle door that goes into the next carriage, which happened to be 700 and whatever number it was, right? So he locked me alone in 622. And then all I had to worry about was the driver's door, and that's where my water pipe come in, because I was a 14-year-old kid trying to get my water pipe home from Riverstone back to East Richmond to take it home for my CB radio. I was 14 years old, and Alf looked at me, and I looked at him like a grandfather, because my mother died 3 years earlier. So he sort of took me underneath his wing, because he escaped from the Germans in World War II in Poland, and he was a Polish immigrant. And he had to put up with the Germans when the Germans took control of the steam trains in Poland, and he had to put up with them, and he was Jewish. So he was very sympathetic towards me as a kid, because he could understand what I was going through, because he lost a lot of his family, because he was Jewish and he lost his family over there in Poland during World War II against the Nazis. So that just goes to show. And this is 1976, 1975. Now let's show you the rest of Riverstone train station. This is exactly the same thing what they did at Casino. Where the cars are parked there on the right, that was the railway line.
When railways were railways, and you get away with everything. So this is now at the stuck here, some great big tower.
Oh, that's the
It's obviously
two-way
never would
radio.
have been here. The diesels were still here. And this is why we had this funny awning. Nobody's ever worked it out why there's an awning.
You see, well, why would they put a chair there facing a white fence? Come on, you work it out. You reckon you're smart? Why? Come on, somebody's on the channel. Why would they put a fence over there on the right and a blue chair there on the left underneath an awning? What, people are going to go up there and sit and look at a car park? No, because that's where the Richmond train used to go in. That's called the dock platform.
Sitting here with the lights.
That's
And
the
it's funny
same as
triangle,
casino,
concrete
except the
slab.
casino doesn't have the fence.
This is the platform.
Can you see it now? There's the platform. There's the edge over there in the car park. Very simple.
And the diesel train would pull in here. And people would be sitting there to catch the train to go to Richmond. And this is where they used to tranship way back in 1978 until 1982, 4 or 6. And then I'll show you a photograph.
Pardon me. Oh,
You
look,
can
there's a
still
water
see the
tap
platform
pipe.
there through the concrete.
Hey, I just noticed
Yeah.
that. Did you notice that? Have a look.
1982, 4 or 6. And then I'll show you.
For some reason, look, they put in a water tap. Can you see it? Right there. But somebody's taken the actual tap out. And then if you look down, you can see the water pipe running around the back of it, underneath the back of the fence.
Photograph. You can still see the platform there through the
Look,
concrete.
the water pipe.
There you go. So look, it's still got the yellow marker there for a two-car train.
Two-car train marker.
And that's where I walked up my dad and I said, oh, woman said to me one day, oh, that's nice to see you giving the train driver a cup of tea. I said, no, I'm not getting that train driver a cup of tea because it's a train driver. I wouldn't do that. She looked at me with horror. I said, I'm getting that driver there a cup of tea because he's my father.
Yeah, my father.
No, I mentioned that at Dad's funeral.
I'll say that again. I said that at
There's
Dad's funeral.
The feature.
See, same feature. I've got a photograph of that, but there's
Same
no
building.
cover.
And before that was put there was a set of points. Look up there, you can see where the ballast's been done. And you used to come in there, right here. Not that retainer wall. This bit here. See?
You got to look and see.
See, look. And that's where the train used to go. Right
And
there
I
where the
used to
rubbish
drive it out there. Ooh,
right
baby.
there on the side. And I found a video at home of a train coming into Riverston. And that's exactly where it come in. It comes in
And
there.
that down there behind the big trees, in my last railway, when I was talking about corruption on the railways, that's the Riverston Meat Company. The part I forgot to say was the Riverston Meat Company, all their freight, all their cattle, all their sheep and all their goats and whatever else used to come in by rail from everywhere, from all the way out the west, all the way from Tenterfield, from Moree, from all the way out, just wherever it come from. You know, they even had sheep and cattle wagons coming up there up and down Tumbarumba, Tumut, wherever, or they had sheep and cattle wagons coming from way down at Bombala. They had sheep and cattle coming from, you know, you name it, Jerilderie, Hay, you name it. Everything come out to Riverston. And all went straight down there where the word ION is on station. It went down there as a little siding line, and that's where it all used to go many, many years ago.
And I've got the photograph of that siding over there.
Oh, that siding, yeah, I've got a photograph of all the steam, all the diesels lined up. 442, something or other. And all these 48 class locomotives all lined up, waiting to hook onto the double deckers and tow them out to Richmond before the electrification. And then you see a photograph of a double-decker train sitting at Clarendon at the air show, and there's no wires above it, and it's a double-decker electric train, because that's how they towed them out there, and they just shunted them out there, one behind the other, but everybody had to get off at Clarendon to go to the air show when the Air Force was still at the Richmond Air Base. That's under Qantas, so you'll never ever see it again. The days are gone. Well, you're too young, you missed it, bad luck.
All the 48 class locomotives, all lined up down there behind that fence.
Yep.
So there's the track.
40 of them.
And what happened was, they did not have the overhead wires past the bottom set of points. Actually, the double-decker trains, these electric trains, see there's two wires there, right? Right. One finishes just down there. The other one starts, and then it goes on. Right? Well, that's where the overhead wires used to stop. Just down there, that red just down the rails.
He said, no electric
train come in. And I've got that photo. That red double-decker train sitting right here. And on this side, you've got the two-car diesel. And this is that pilot, this is that boarding. You can see one of my photos. Taken way back in 1978. Oh, my God, it was like yesterday, wasn't it? So that platform there, that's the extension for when they electrified it. Yeah.
That platform there was not there when I was there on the railways. There was no platform at all over there. That used to be the cattle line. That's where all the cattle trains used to come in. And the electrics used to stop here on the one there right in front of you. And the diesels would go in the dock. And the cattle trains would come in behind the double-decker electrics and come running down over there on that line. And one day I went across there, and I got on it for a railway carriage to get on it, the train to go over and take over the rubbish bins. The next thing I know, the train took off, and I nearly got run over by the railway wheels. I nearly got chopped up right there in front of you. And down there, actually where that concrete wall is, that's nearly where I got cut up by a train. I went down between the two pairs of bogies on the one carriage, not between two carriages, but underneath one carriage. And I threw my bins through. And then as I was coming out the other side, the train started moving, and poor old Les out, and the station master just went, oh my God, he's gone. But no, I made it. I was out. I didn't get chopped up. But I was only 16 years old. No one taught me. And then Les out and pulled me aside. He said, right, I'm going to give you railway safety schooling. And he sat me in the office, and he told me everything about train safety. And it was only my first 3 weeks on the job. Nobody told me anything about train safety. And he's the guy who taught me. Les Doughton. He's dead now. His son Peter Doughton's still alive, but I don't know where he is.
To Richmond. No, not because electrified at Riverstone, because when they electrified it to Richmond, they had to pass the trains.
That's when
if you look at this other platform, I'll save me memory, I'll move up. Right, that platform down there was made when they put the diesel train. You could pass the electric trains or pass another diesel train. That's why that concrete facial wall is.
That's why I say that long.
And when they electrified it to Richmond, they couldn't use that for the double-decker electrics. So then they had to extend it. That's the switching room.
That's my old signal box.
That's where the switching room, all the electronic switches are for the signal.
The left-hand one, not the right one.
And down here,
you'll see it. You'll see the hole in the wall.
You see it boarded up.
You see the board?
You see that grey board?
That's where the point levers used to come out. I used to pull them.
See how it sticks out?
Yeah, I used to pull the levers.
That's where the levers used to come out.
That's where
this
where
is the signal box. I used to pull the levers over when I was a kid. And I don't know if the old track diagram's still in there.
Can't see
Might
nothing.
see they'll give me a look. Do a bit of a walk around. Oh yeah. No, I think they're taking them all out.
Yeah, it's just one big empty room now.
Yeah, they pulled everything out. Everything's been pulled out of there. It's just another one of these ones that made claws out of it and they put a
Oh, that's a white phone I've got here. Oh,
computer
good
room
bugger.
there, the old tractor, the diagrams all gone. It's just a big room. I remember many a time walking in that. I was 16 years old.
I believe that's 37 years ago.
This morning was not here.
There's a men's toilet. Those chairs weren't there. They weren't there.
We'll see how it is. Different urinal.
Same glass,
Same
same doors, same different tiles. That was my storeroom there. That's all different. That's the same steel thing that was there when I was there. It's the same glass when I was there.
Another thing I just noticed, that's the same yellow paint that was there when I was here.
Yeah, it's the same paint when I was there. Unbelievable, isn't it? 45 years old. That's how old it is. Got that? Yeah, that's the same tiles that were there when I was there.
I was talking about the Riverston architecture. This is the same up at Muswellbrook and all the way up there at Lewis Creek. And you can see that how they did all the same thing. Same with flat concrete, sandstone up there.
See, it's all the same as Werris Creek, Muswellbrook, right up to Tenterfield. See those rings?
Arches.
It's the same as Granville. But you go on the Penrith line, you don't see none of that. Because this railway line was built before the Penrith railway line.
They raised this all up.
Yeah, that's all been raised.
That there was lower. They'd raise that up because this is all new platform. If you have a look, you can see it.
Yep, raised it up by 2 bricks.
That's where the original station was. Way down there. Used to wash that with as well. There was no paper.
That was the ladies'
That
toilet.
was the entrance to the ladies. That was the
cleaning
storage
room.
room. That's now the entrance to the ladies.
That was a brick
that,
wall.
That was never there. That actually was a toilet.
Yeah, that
This
actually
here
was a toilet.
the Riverside agent.
This was the parcels office next.
This here was the old parcels office. And this is where we used to have our parcels.
I think you can see the shelves. Yeah, look, you can sort of see the shelves in the background.
That's where I used to go. All these old bloody old chimneys. I used to have to clean these every day.
That was the storeroom.
And that was the boss's storeroom. That's why I had the double locks in it. We used to keep the ladders in there.
And that's the bloody
These are
light
similar
poles I
to the
used to
old
climb up.
lights that used to be here when I was here.
There should be 2 hooks
And they used
right
to
up
make
the
you climb up there up the ladder.
No, that's
And
not
the
there.
2 hooks up the top. You used
See,
to
I
hang
still
the ladder
remember
up on the hook. That's probably now clean the old fashioned fluorescent lights. And that there's the back of the TAB. And this here is the back of my old station master's house.
And he used to have a Holden HZ Holden. Dark blue.
And one thing a lot of people don't realise, you might see the Heritage Mob jumped in and kept this old original Riverstone sign.
Look how old that is.
So look how old that is.
God, tell me own
That was
words.
here when I was a kid. See, go right it out so they cut the bottom of it and put on the pins. And then when people used to get off the train, they used to walk down through there. Now they put all this.
See, because now you don't have to
Yeah,
collect
yeah,
the
yeah.
tickets now. It's all tap and go.
So I never looked into this as old back up. He died when I was station master. Yeah, that's where he used to park his HZ Holden. Yeah, the Hayseed, Blue Hole and Hayseed Kingswood.
How's that from memory? I still got it
I
right.
actually had breakfast in there many years ago. Now this is what I call a train. See? It's got
Now,
double
maybe
deckers,
made in China, but that's a train. That's not a tram. That's a
air
train.
conditioned. That to me is a train. Not something that looks like a train. I want to go see if these guys will show me any of the old railway photos.
Oh, here we go. This is my old boss. Hang on.
Anymore. So it's the same as Werris Creek and Warrandyte and places like that. It's all the same.
We never used to have that ramp there either. Neville Farlow. That's the table I used to clean every day. Payphone up there on the wall.
Yeah, we used to always call him Nifty Neville. Yeah, that's the table I used to polish every day. He used to tell me, go and clean the glass off and polish it. There's the old window. Nice with them. What else? What's this one? Thanks for doing this. What's that? Is that a train hit the level crossing the meatworks?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh, geez, there's something new to put them up wide, don't they? That's what amazes me. People, oh, that's all the logos I was talking about. You got it up there, have you? 702. Yeah, that's around 48, isn't it? Might be coming back after the air show.
That's it. That's it. That's all. That's 442 something or other.
Yeah, that's the old front of the station. But I remember we used to clean out the front windows every day. Traffic inspector used to come along and say, you don't clean up the front of those windows. You get out there and clean them.
Look at that. They run the XP2 out the
What
rivers.
is, did you read the one of the old guardsmen that went up the end of the tracks down there in the meatworks?
There we go. There's
Oh,
the
here
dog.
is
See,
the dog.
there she is.
Oh, yeah.
I'll pause that.
So we've got a steam train sitting there. Double decker sitting there. That's a red one I'll probably get a picture of. And this,
There she go. 600 class sitting over there. Now, what number it is, I think that was the white one that's down at Thormere.
the roll motor sitting in the dock. Oh, that one there, you got in that picture there. That's just been fully refurbished, by the way.
There it is. That's exactly what I was talking about. The sorry about that. Just getting a little bit excited there. You'll actually see the locomotives towing the double-decker trains.
And there's the roll motor sitting in the dock.
See, the diesel's still
Oh,
running.
that
There's
one
no
there,
train,
you get in
no
that picture
electricity to Richmond, right?
That's just been fully refurbished, by the way.
See, that's it there. 48 class or 42 class, whatever, towing a double-decker electric train, and they towed it down to Clarendon. Everybody got off at Clarendon, went out to the airport, and then went and watched the air show. And then the train continued on in the same direction as it is set up. Loco first into Richmond, down all the sidings, and then they had to leave the walkway level crossing at East Richmond open. Then they had to leave the level crossing gates open at East Richmond. And then they banked up behind each other all the way from East Richmond right back out to Clarendon. And then the last double-decker train went out there, had that big 442 or whatever it was on the end of the last train. So it then towed the last 8 cars back to Clarendon, fully loaded full of people. That's why they put a 442 on it. And then the 48 class that was on the front of it going out, it was then on the rear. So it then went on the front of the one in front of it, which then made it the front coming backwards. It was like a double shuffle, and that's how they did it. So that was catching that. That's a bloody. You'll never ever see that again in your life. A diesel hauling a double-decker train at Riverstone, and there's no electric trains out there.
Oh, that's the air-shape. I didn't know you had the air-shape photos. That's coming past Docklands with the 48s climbing the electric trains out to Richmond before it was electrified. There's all the 48s lined up.
Look at it.
Jeez, they certainly changed it, haven't they? Jeez, that's not
That's exactly the same thing what they did up at casino.
Maybe good. So I left here 78, so 11 years later they electrified it. But they do with the old, did they still have
That
the old
door
urn
there.
thing?
That was never there.
Or they move that out?
What?
Urn. I don't know how many times they cleaned that top of that door frame. And that's where you used to have the two single electric staffs, machines.
Yeah, the guy saying, yeah.
My parcels table. That was the mileages and all the stickers.
And the maps.
And that was, I think that was the thing up there for the bill or something.
That was for the phone bill.
Remember one day one guy went up there in that loft. I remember he went up there. He came back down and he said, I'll never ever get up there again. That PowerPoint, that was there when I was here. Still remember that. I used to have to wipe that.
Don't clean anything
Oh,
anymore.
man, I love to get a picture of old Apple. And we used to have all the big old cardboard tickets.
That's the
there.
cardboard tickets were.
And somebody'd come in and they'd print some money out of the bloody till. And we'd all have to make up for it. Oh, at least you got air conditioning now. We never had air conditioning.
And right there, to the right of that machine, that's where the sink
thanks for
used to
that.
be.
Thank you.
Isn't that cool? That was so cool. Because that's where I used to make a cup of coffee. And the boss used to say, yeah, come on, two up. And yeah, throw up a two up and go for a coin. And whoever lost the two, I had to pay for a bottle of drink. And I was only getting $77 a fortnight. And it cost $2 for a bottle of drink. So, no thanks. I got out of that one. Oh, what was I on about? Let's go up to... Oh, look, there's my big motorbike. Ooh, you want to see it? This is my great big motorbike. Let's have a look.
It's Moo-Mooville.
Oh, how long ago was this?
Moo-Moo's everywhere.
17th of December 2020.
It's cow country. Everything is done up like a cow. You don't believe me?
This is
Check it
before I
out.
learned how to turn the camera around.
It's a cow. It's a black and white cow town. So, let's have a look at the name of the town. Look, you don't believe me? Look. It's the Moo Moo Cafe. And look, in the petrol pumps, they've got Moo Moos on it. Oh, Moo Moos everywhere. Nobody can Moo Moo anywhere. Look, every single power pole in the main street's got Moo Moo spots. Can you believe it? Moo Moo spots. I don't know what I'm going to do with those guys from Utah. They're no good. What am I going to do with them? I've got my motorbike. It needs recovering. Yeah, look, watch how big my motorbike is. I just found it. I've been to Moo Moo Cafe. Yeah, look, I just reach the camera here just to make a picture. Can you come over here from Utah and pick up your motorbike? I want to take it home back down to Sydney. Same little. What, you don't think it's that really that big? Look, I'll show you. Yeah, it actually works. It's got a radiator, motor, look. It actually runs. Look, there's a bus stop. Want to see it? It's on Google Earth. Mooball, M-O-O.
Oh, God. This might be the one where I caught Gladys out.
They don't run trains at Mullumbimby anymore. Nick Reiner sent to that back in 1980. He destroyed the railways, separated it all, got rid of the coal, the freight, the goods.
Right, asking you, Smarties, what's the mileage of
universities,
Mullumbimby back to Sydney? Come
train
on,
building departments.
quick.
Railways had everything. Universities, they had everything. So what does Nick Reiner do? He says, no, we're going to change it into State Rail Authority
No still sleepers.
Corporation. No, it's a corporation. You can sell it all off. So this is now the end product. A disused, unused, graffiti railway station, Mullumbimby. Now, 898.220 kilometres from Sydney. There you go. That's the mileage from Central Number 1. 898.220. Right. I was just having a chat to a local up here. Now, if you go down on my channel, you can see video. And I was talking to Neil Battersby, who's a train driver, a solar power trainer.
Right, anyway. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, hang on. Is this the one with all the rubbish? Let's have a look.
Well, it means go and watch it. Now, thank you, Byron Bay City Council. My last video report, back on here. This
Oh,
here was
man,
full
didn't they
of
clean it
garbage.
up?
Yes, so Byron Bay City
Look,
Council
rat traps as well.
did something right. The video is still there at home. This here was covered in garbage right up into these red bricks. So yes, okay, at least it's starting to get the place clean. Anyway, never gets used. There's one
Right,
lady up here's got a shop up here.
we'll go check out another one. You want to see what the traffic is like coming out of Byron Bay? 392 views in the last 11 months.
There, terminal there.
See, here
So
we go. Look.
everybody's going to walk across all the old
Oh,
train
it's up
tracks.
there. This is them building it. This is the video I was talking about.
Whatever else, when the virus is gone.
There you go.
Terminal there. So everybody's going to walk across all the old train tracks, come over here, get in the interstate coaches. Whatever else, when the virus is gone, and they won't be over there on
This
the main street.
is 17th of December
You're on that
2020.
big tree over there.
So there's the old Byron Bay
Right.
station. See, that all the white
You're going
clock
to be put
around.
over here in this. Look how many cars come here. Bugger all, right? So they're going to get the people out of the traffic.
Oh, look,
Get
little
the
white
buses
hot
out of
part.
the traffic. They're going to come over here. That's your lovely window. Look at that big rain pan. Oh, it's beautiful. Fresh. This is what it used to look like when I was here. Living up here in a bus 16 years ago. That there was there. So yeah, they've done a lot of work. Even the virus, look at that, look at the bend in that palm tree. Can you see it?
Rip and Rail did that. He bent the palm
Unbelievable.
tree. He did. I've seen him. He jumped on it.
Just in a lorikeets. Right, that's the old steam engine water tower. And it looks like they've refurbished it. Because that used to be black. And I had to go up there, but that's really, really old. Right, let's go around a bit more of a drive. Now, what they did, because the mayor wouldn't let a multi-millionaire who decided to go out and he bought himself a train. A what? Yeah, a train. Yeah, the railway line's closed, but he went out and bought himself a train. And what he did.
Now, you want to see how many cars on the road at Byron Bay?
Little level crossing into the old train stuff.
Well, that's loud. Look at this. Check this out.
That's a New South Wales Premier.
And you wonder why Byron Bay should have a train back.
This is what, I'll take it out of the bracket for a sec. This is what it's like when you live in Byron Bay.
There you go.
and
17th
there's
of
no
December,
rain on it.
2020.
So I'll come back about the Byron Bay Solar Power Train. Right, real quick. Byron Bay Solar Power Train runs from the northern side of the level crossing and goes 1.4 kilometres out to the North Beach railway station at North Beach. And once they took one motor and gearbox out and put in batteries and solar panels on the train. And then they put solar panels on both platforms down there and up here. And then they put solar panels on top of their storage shed workshop where the train gets parked and locked up every night behind closed doors. And in there is also the second motor and gearbox, which they took out, which gave them room then to fit the batteries underneath the train. So it runs on solar power. So it doesn't cost any money, doesn't do any pollution.
Yeah, you're going to tell me,
the first solar power train ever in the world.
if you run a train from Coolangatta Airport down to Byron Bay, it wouldn't make any money. Look at the amount of cars sitting there bumper to bumper. Look at them. I mean, that's just unreal. Admittedly, the colour's not much good in the picture. That doesn't matter. And look at the poor bastard there. Look, he's in a taxi. He's got to pay for that. He's in a cab. Oh, sucker. Oh.
Then go from Byron Bay heading the other direction from the other end, going to Lismore, up to Bangalore. And then when the money got rebuilt up again through another Christmas, go from Uber.
Look at your watch. I'll get driving, I think.
Bendy, where the Byron Bay City Council is.
That's another
All
taxi.
that line is
Is it?
now covered in the land. It's a single deck. It's a train.
Look at the traffic in Byron Bay. Can you believe that?
It's like sitting on a plastic barbecue.
Now you see why I say if you put a train in from Coolangatta Airport
It makes you sick.
and you run it all the way down to Byron Bay, look how much money you make.
Absolutely.
That's money for the grabbing.
Right? Because you're sitting sideways, it's uncomfortable, driving. Back in the late 50s, terminal, 1960.
329 views.
And they took them
That is
all
very,
out
very
the
jiggly and
rooms,
Dram.
and they said,
Jam.
the old
No
Wicked
train
Dreams.
from Wallangarra to Byron Bay
You wanna
Casino
say,
Sydney.
type in Sydney
Billions
Dreams,
on new railways.
early
Sydney.
dreams, 1950
Billions on
Sydney
new
Dreams,
railways.
and you'll see them running down the streets. There's one of my videos. It's there somewhere. It shows Sydney back in the 50s, and you see trams in it. They used to run around Elizabeth Street in the city, Castlereagh Street, George Street, Park Street, everywhere. They were everywhere. But back in the 60s, the 1960s, they got.
Now look at your watch.
Look at it.
Still
You say,
coming.
oh, get more trains, get cars off the road. Now the coronavirus is here. Oh, we want everybody in cars. Hello, there's nowhere to park in Byron Bay. It's a little tiny seaport. Whoop, whoop. So there you go. Look at it. It's just bumpy to bumpy. Look at it.
Look,
Wow,
and they're
that's
just crawling.
fine.
They couldn't even be bothered driving anymore. They just gave up.
This is Byron Bay. This is 10 days before Christmas. 8 days. So look, there's a bus.
Suffolk
It's going
Park.
to Suffolk Park. That's on the other side of Byron Bay.
How the hell is it going to
There's
get
the
through?
roundabout. Then we go round a roundabout. Look. It goes all the way out to the highway. I'm going to prove it. There's no way in the world I'm coming back in this. Once I go out of town, I'm not coming back. I'm a smart old local. I know the back roads.
And look how good the roads are.
Look, and that keeps going and going and going and going. Look at it. This is Byron Bay. You want to come to Byron Bay for a holiday, this is what you're going to do. Now imagine sitting here. Today's raining. Okay, people? Imagine if the sun was out and it was 45 degrees Celsius. How many cars have gone past us since we took this video? There we go. Right out here. There's a bumper, right out to here. Wait a minute. There's a little bit of gap. There's a roundabout. There you go. Right out here to the roundabout. The BP service station. There, Gladys. There it is. BP. Bayshore Drive. And that's how far it runs. And the problem is, okay, they've got the solar power train running from just up here. Now, the difference is, wood's gone, wood, steel, wood, steel, wood, steel.
See, 3 and 1, 3 and 4.
4 is steel. You can run the XPT on this. This is what the XPT used to run on, or a freight train full of cement wagons. Nothing wrong with it. Woody's got nothing.
And look what's down here. Oh, look what I found.
It's a tourist resort. So it's only tourists that go up there. So that's why it's only a ding, ding, ding game. There's the train. You like the new camera, by the way? Leave me a comment. You think the camera's good? Let me know. That's my fortune. Now, you can see the set of train tracks down there. That goes around there to the shed. That's where the train's kept. So up there on that roof, there's a set of solar panels. Up there on that roof, there's another set of solar panels. And inside that big shed is this.
Where is it? Where's the train? Somebody took it.
$10 on the track. And he put a brand new bridge down here. Look down on my channel, way down, Mr. Hominoid. That's what you're looking at, with a big black animal. Neil on the solar power train. That's it.
Well, I've actually deleted that video.
He calls it North Beach.
Change a bit. Anyway, who wants to see Queen's Crown Head Bridge? Now, this is something you'll never, ever. Oh, you know, I was just talking about Riverston. I said about 622, and our polis let me put my steel pipe in there as a 14-year-old kid. Check this out. This will get you. It's coming.
Richmond, Alec Crest was rain guard. They're doing this survey up here for the state government, and that's where I know that's.
Those levers are from Bolivia. It's year 622.
Oh, look at this! I love this now. This is good. Huh. Yep. And there you go.
Home sweet home.
See, clockwise direction valves. That's the gas bottles. That's what they put the gas bottles in for the heaters. And the heaters used to be just up here.
But somebody took them out and put them in another train.
That tank there,
That's the air tank brake.
that's your air cylinder. For the brakes.
This poor volunteer, he doesn't know anything about trains.
And this here was your
Breakdown box.
security camera. What's a good security camera? That there was your breakdown kit. And that's what that was. Want to come in? I'll show you something. Now, for Alec Crass at North Richmond, Alec Crass was a train guard. Alex, your seat is still there. Some 40 years later, and Alec Crass is still alive, actually. Right, now this is how we used to start the old girl up. So you're coming in like this.
There we go. You reckon I can't drive a train? You what's this?
Brake, and you have to put it in, flip it in, right? And then down here,
You had a cock, it's gone.
Where's it gone? I don't know where they took it. There's a tap down there. Anyway, turn the tap, and that was, and this one here was, right? And then what you do, see, you got idle, transmission idle, 1/3 throttle, 2/3 throttle, full throttle. You push the button in, and you go like that, and you pull it up. But you needed a key to put it out of off into reverse or forward, right? Then, how do you start it was what you have here, see? Engine select, 1 and 2. So you have engine 1, engine 2, and then when you want to stop them and you've done your day's shift, kill it, put it back, kill it, right? Red means stop, right? There's your bell to ring the guard down the back. If you're down the back of the train, ring, 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 ring.
Is there a delay? Like...
No, it's automatic. Same bell's right here. Right? That's the same bell. Go ding, ding. Now there's your sender 1 and 2, and that's front
That's
and
where the
rear
safety
of the
switch
motors.
is on the Byron Bay
Trailer
electric train.
light red, trailer light white. Right, sorry. Trailer light left.
Tail light
Trailer
left, tail light right.
red, white.
I got it all mixed
Oh,
up.
tail light. Sorry.
I didn't have my glasses on. I couldn't see
Trailer
it.
light white,
Goes
trailer
one
light,
up, one down, one
trailer
up, one down, one
right.
up, one down.
and one's on the left, right? So one's left and one's right. See? Left, left, white, and red. So if this was going to be the tail, we have that down, right?
Up,
Sorry, that up, that down,
down, that
that
up.
up, right? So now it's tail light red on, tail light red right on.
That means
Right.
then 622 was a tail train.
Tail light right and left red, white are off.
Because they're the marker
Right.
lights when you go forward.
And then there's 2 center lights in the top. There's a center light up the top out there, right? That's these 2. Then you have your panel light. It turns these on. Then you got your cab light, which is that one. Then you got your dim. That's a headlight. See, so this is headlights. See, so you got headlight off, headlight on, bright, dim. Yeah, and then your 2 tacos there. And I used to run about 6.5, maybe 8 on the tacos. And if you
That's
actually want to
really
see this running,
quiet.
it's the same one running over Byron Bay on the solar power train. And they've got one series of motors is diesel and
Engine number
gearbox,
1's
and the
in,
other
number
half
2's out.
is electric traction motors and solar power battery.
Now, I always say to people, it's my railway museum. I'm going to show you something. I don't like showing this to people because I'm going to make you watch the tape. There's all the meat wagons. See this big long diagram there in the middle picture on the screen? The white square? This is what I donated. Now, this is an 1886 diagram. I say to people all the time on my live stream, I had the diagrams of 1886, right? And this has actually got my name on it. Now, they're the white ones on the top, the blue ones on the bottom. Now they swapped them around, the white ones on the bottom so people can actually see it. And on the bottom of the white one is my actual real name. Not Mr. Hominoid, my real name. Now you watch. The guy walks in and I show him. Here it comes.
You want me to show you? My name's on the wall.
My name's on the wall. You heard me say it? My name's on the wall.
You don't know, did you? Is that what you're
Ian didn't know I'm one of the founding fathers of this museum.
Are you a volunteer here too? Oh, he's a car. All right. Well, you want to come and have a look and I'll show you a bit of history. Yeah. Hey, can I show you something? What's this?
Eighteen
Long,
86.
beautiful old.
I personally photocopied that
diagram.
of the original.
That's it there. That's me. That's me. Well, I'm one of the original founding fathers. That's me. That's you. How's that for a surprise? You met the man that found that, and that was sitting in my office, and I'll tell you the story behind it. I had all these guys up here, bloke by the name of Jack Pepper. He said, oh, we're trying to find the original diagram of Tenterfield railway station. And they said, we can't find it. Because how long is the station from Bridge to Bridge? 1 mile? Oh, no. From Bridge to Bridge, this way. Yeah, no. It's over a mile. It's on the diagram. Right. Right. And then if you look up there in the top hand corner of the diagram, it says 1886.
Oh, they're just customers. I didn't worry about that.
And it's sitting in my office. Now, I wish I could see up there. I didn't bring my glasses. This is, I don't know where they got this from. That's a blue sketchy one. You see, it's all my friends at home. That's me. It's the hominoid.
Queensland gauge rail coming into.
Yeah, somebody did that, and I didn't approve of that. They got the red text, the red pencil, and they've actually got that upside down. Because that's saying Queensland's that way, Queensland's this way.
That's right.
There's the station building here. That should be up over there. Somebody, but see, they draw it upside down. So somewhere just up there, you get a ladder.
You watch what I do.
I
in
tried
your
to
own
do a
museum.
video
You watch
because
what I do.
I always
You're
tell
not
my
gonna
friends
believe
about this year I got. And
What's the station master's house there?
you act. Here it comes. Keep your eye out. You'll see it. 86. You'll see 86,86. Man, it was so hard trying to see it. It was so high up in the air, the glare, and no glasses.
It was indored in 1886.
Where does it say Queensland that way?
Well, you know. Okay, so here's the diagram. Zoom it out. I'm standing up on my feet. There's a bridge there. That's a bridge up the other end.
That's a
There's another
turntable.
turntable. This is where the red line here, which somebody put in there, which I didn't want them to do that, but they did it.
That's the
This
only
is
copy
hand-drawn.
left of that railway, of that whole diagram. The only one
It's
left in
written
the
on here
world.
somewhere.
There it is there,
86.
1886.
Here it is, right there.
See?
8286.
What does it say?
8286.
8286.
8th of February 86.
8th of February, 1886.
So there you go. You can see that for yourself.
There you go. 8th of February,
So
1886.
And this is the only copy left in.
that was obviously before the place.
Well, they had to draw it up before they built it.
But that,
381 miles to Sydney.
the chance he might have been a Queensland.
I'll tell you the story about that. I'll tell you exactly what they
The
did.
Glen to Tenterfield. That's the section. That's what they called it.
Yeah, look what I'm saying. I'm going to get more. Look, everything in this place. Everything. Oh,
Catch me, Ian. Catch me.
sorry, got the camera back on. Right. Now, my friend Tony was asking the other day down in Sydney. See, Tony?
It's a coal
That's
brake wagon.
coal train brake van. That's the meat wagon. That's where the butcher hangs up all the meat. Now, everybody, I'm going to do another video. This is just one real quick one. So when my mate, Mr. Tony, gets naughty, so this is what they didn't show. This other video, this guy coming in, he videoed all this. He didn't show all these meat hooks.
See, you got to take your time and enjoy yourself up there.
You come up here to Tenterfield, that's what we do with you, hang you up on a hook.
Now, Griffin
These are the
Rail,
things I
this is
talk about.
especially just for you. You what?
Like down at Inverell, Corindai, and all the timber posts have got this. See where the nuts hang out the side? These nuts, all on the timber beams along the railway station at Corindai. You see where the trolley used to go past and take all the wood out. And he said, "What's that from?" I said, "That'll be from the trolley." "Yeah, come on, I'll show you." "Don't you love this? Green on Bear, you'd love to be here. Look. Big, beautiful. Look at that.
That's the Emu Plains train. There it is. All the way from Emu
We've got
Plains.
trains. We've got tankers there. There's more carriages way down there. See, you've got proper footpaths. You can go across over there. Old dog box. Well, don't tell me about them. I used to pick the bloody things up every time. Yep, I drove that one,
727.
and I drove that one. 727 was at Bridgman as well, Newcastle. Oh, they did that down at Thilmy.
They put a bloody
And that's
steering
what they
wheel.
did. They took it out for spare parts, put in another one. You coming up the top? And I'll show you.
How would you like to see the big Queen's Crown Head Bridge? Here we go. What I started, 1995, 97. Here we go. Then after this, that'll do me. What happened? I lost me.
Hello, everybody. Can you guess where Miss Omeroid is today?
I'm in Queensland.
Well, I'll give you a clue.
He-
Do you remember one of my videos? I said about the red and the white line.
Queensland and New South
World
Wales.
War II troops used to come up here from Sydney,
I'm about to
At
do
that
a funny.
train ship.
Get ready for it.
right down there. We're going to go down there in a minute. That's New South Wales. I'm in Queensland. Look at that. Isn't that exciting? I'm only here for 20 minutes. And that's where we are. Wallangarra. Yep, I'm standing right now.
2,882 feet
I
above
showed
sea
you the
level.
photos, I showed you videos of it. Now I'm standing right here. And they had the
I've been
barricades up over
everywhere,
there for the
man.
mud,
I've
for
been
the
everywhere,
virus.
man.
There you
Wallangarra.
go, over there. You can see them over there. Really? Yeah, just to the right of that yellow sign. And they had them down there on the highway. And
That's the
down the back
COVID-19.
streets.
There's the train.
But the shop here always stayed open. Now, somebody's gone down there and sprayed all the train tracks. They put a fence across. Looks like they're going to have keep cows in there or something. I don't know what they're doing. Somebody must get the lease on the property. Anyway, that's the New South Wales train tracks.
Underwater.
Tars built over the train tracks anyway. Now, it runs up there, goes around into a triangle, goes out around the back of the houses over there. Another one runs that way, and then off to the left and goes out the back of the old meat works. So let's go for a walk around Wallangarra. Now, this is New South Wales side platform because it's flat.
See the
This
planet
Queensland,
awning?
it's got an arch.
Exactly the same as Casino. You have a look.
So,
Except it's got the fancy awnings because it's built
this is
by
what
Queensland
platforms
Rail.
look like. They're cracks in it, and really old and bad. And then they get all the money.
You see, you still got a planet awning for New South Wales,
and all this
but
beautiful-
Queensland Rail built it,
we got
and they
walls
used
and
that
windows,
angle line up there in the corner of
things like
the
that.
up there. See that? That's Queensland style.
And this is the beauty about this place. Look. Beautiful
Tell
fresh
me,
air.
do you like my restaurant? This is what I got started back in 1995. You tell me if you like it. Leave me a comment. This place had holes in the wall, holes in the tar. See, it's got all new tar.
And this is
I got them $100,000 grant.
Queensland Rail owns this. They bought this out here. And it's got videos.
Queensland Rail owned
This
this,
is actually Wallangarra
but I got it
Station.
started up as a museum under
This
Queensland
is a
Rail law.
mall of it. So that's where we are right now. And it shows where the troops come in, where all the sidings are. And it shows
My name's on the wall up there.
different things. This is, and this
Like the beautiful old fireplace? Check that out.
Isn't that beautiful? See? Here's the station. That was nice shed. There's a transshipping platform down here. See? That's the old Wallangarra Meatworks. Brendan Cusack owns it. And that's where I used to park my bus in the tunnel.
I used to live there in my bus on the tunnel.
There's a train comes out here called Wallangarra, and there's another train comes out here called Warwick. See, that's what the station used to look like.
That's what it was when I come there.
It was all over ground. So that's where we just stood. Look, plants and everything. Look,
Covered in crap.
that's where we just walked in. That's a Queensland train. So, World War II people, when they come through here, World War II. There's all sorts of things here.
Man, I didn't realise that camera work was so bad, actually. It's very glaring.
Families. Videos.
Yeah, it's got a video room. You watch.
The engine to turn around. The track combines narrow, wide gauge lines, so that both the New South Wales and Queensland engines can change direction.
That's just up here, up the back behind us. That's called the triangle. That's how they turn the train around.
So it's fully educational.
What a little
Great.
my bad. Now, I looked at my channel, you see the Flying Scotsman. Can you see that? I'll turn around to the right. Flying Scotsman.
Jock was driving that.
Yeah,
We made.
that's one Jock was talking about. On my channel, the old bloke, the Flying Scotsman. Get in and have a look. You'll see it, Flying Scotsman. The person right
The only guy in Australia to drive it who was actually born in Scotland.
The first guy to drive it.
And he was the first guy to drive it. He was born in Scotland. He drove the Flying Scotsman. When they got off the ship.
Workers and their families who lived in Wallangarra, Jennings. Wallangarra is Queensland, Jennings is New South Wales. So just all sorts of things. World War II
Cleary up there. That's an ammo. World War II, look.
Announced in the Tenterfield Star. Britain stands against Germans. Britain.
Britons stand against the Germans.
Japanese left prisoners to drown. See, all those soldiers come through here. There's an ammo box.
So all the World War II soldiers didn't go through Wallangarra Casino and up to Brisbane. They went right through there. They had their last meal in New South Wales when they got off the New South Wales train right there in that restaurant. You're about to see the restaurant.
It's all been decked out.
And then those soldiers never ever come home. Those Aussie diggers, they never come back.
Back in ruins, not like crap.
This is the last time when they walked on that troop changeover,
Let's go in and have a look.
and then they walked up here. This is where they had their last meal.
Chuff, chuff,
They're
chuff.
so close to New South Wales. So they're from New South Wales, Victoria.
World War II
This is where they had their last meal before they went up to Townsville.
They go in these doors and they go in there and they have a meal.
And check this out. You like my restaurant or what?
1941. They feel this beautiful breeze on their face, not knowing what they're going to face in World War II.
You can sort of feel it.
She's in there preparing food. She's a big banquet tonight. So, yeah, she does get busy out here. And then we have all this big, beautiful stuff. The doors are open. You can have a look. See?
That's just
You
a
know,
story.
dining if you want. And now I said on my channel once, there's a wine cellar. Well, here it is.
Here's a wine cellar. Check this out.
There's a wine cellar. See?
How many railway stations you know got a wine cellar?
So I seen the plans. See? See the bottles of wine?
They had to take the stairs out because people wanted to try and get down there.
It's after World War II. Yeah. Big cars.
They were covered up. They didn't know they were there until they started fixing up the floor.
Porters,
And then they found out there was a
Queensland's
wine cellar.
first
And they went, oh my God.
port of call. Porter's Port. So this is where this lady stores the fridges and that now. So, let's keep going. So I said, this is where this was the main train line, Sydney to Brisbane. And this is where people used to transship and change over. And in the video I talked about there used to be a tree there, now there's a gas bottle. See? So now there's the new sewage thing for the toilets.
That's
and this is where the tree used to be, just here. There's a great big tree.
used to be right there. I've got a photo of it.
Now let's go up here and see what this is.
Yeah, can anybody tell me the mileage back to Sydney?
Let's see how many miles, how many kilometres from Sydney we are. Look at all the train tracks that we built. So you got New South Wales, Queensland, New South Wales. Let's go down and look. Look at this. All this here's been built. This is how when people come out here in tourist trains, they don't get hurt.
Man, I had a bad lung infection when I was doing this.
That's a Queensland platform. That's a Queensland gauge.
See, it's got the round awning. That's Queensland.
That's it. 1, 2, 3 and a half, right?
3'6".
Narrow gauge. That's nice at a crossover, look at it.
Yeah. Can you work it out?
New
Look at that.
South Wales
3'6" and 4'8".
Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one.
4'8".
1, 2, 3 and a half.
3'6".
See? So you got New South Wales gauge, Queensland gauge.
New South Wales in the white.
And that's what they used to do. They used to transship. So of course then around the railway yard, see, there's a New South Wales gauge. That's where New South Wales steam engine will get water. And then over here, New South Wales gauge, New South Wales gauge. So, you run up there, pull the levers, run round and go back on the other end of the train or run down there, and that was a good platform. And then over here.
Now, if they're New South Wales, what's this one over here going to be?
What's about this would be a Queensland gauge. Yeah, so it's a narrow little gauge. So he goes up there, goes around up there, goes over there, and comes back around, does a triangle. That's how they turn the train around. You work it in. See, there's a weighbridge. Okay, and there's another track runs all the way down there. So the train can run around and hook back on. So if it tows it down there, leaves it on there, gets up, runs down there, runs down here, runs back on, and gets back on this end. That's called a run round. Right, now for the people that don't know.
How far
Let's see how
is
far
northern
we are
end
away
of
from
Wallangarra train
Number one
station
platform.
central?
600, 700 kilometres? I don't know.
How far is Wallangarra northern end from central?
7, 9, 8 or 9, something to 6. 792. Oh, 792, 266 metres. So you go, 792 kilometres from central.
792 kilometres back to central.
792 kilometres.
And yet Casino is 806.
792, 266. I'm going to write that down when I get home.
So you work it out 792 to 806.
See those big rocks up there?
Therefore, that's only
I talked about that before, Michelle.
14 k's difference between the northern end of Wallangarra and Casino.
You smell the fresh air?
But this railway line goes up through the New England. Why is Casino just as long?
That didn't sound right.
Because Casino
Right.
goes around all the way around all the mountains, all the way up there through Cox Harbour and Warhope and Kendall and zigzagging around all the mountains, around Glen Ray, and swings around all the mountains. That's why it's longer. And yet when you look at it on the map, it's straight across the track.
There's a big station.
But yet you've got to go from Maitland to get over to Muswellbrook if you
So
turn north.
amazing. This was where they trained. This Queensland line's still open, you know. You still get a train comes to Queensland. So that's how bad it used to look. Until they fixed it all up.
Let's see if we go inside the restaurant. We're going to have dinner. You ready?
Get your cakes and Santa Claus. Got everything. Beers.
Got wine.
Dining table.
Parties, weddings, anything you like. Look at it.
Things there for sale. Pictures there for sale. This is under different management now. Another lady, she's got it. She's telling me all about it. So she can sell what she wants.
She sells clothing.
People give her clothes herself. Because coronavirus made it so hard.
Coronavirus basically sent a break.
Nobody was
The
out here.
Queensland government wouldn't give her any
Nobody was
subsidy.
allowed across the border. Look at that. She had a horse harness or something. Looks like harness or something. Oh, never know. She might be in the harness. Wallangarra.
She's in the horse harness.
Photos in Wallangarra. Look at that.
And my photos are in there.
My photos supposed to be somewhere. I asked her about it. She said, yeah, there is somewhere, but she's got them all packed up. Because coronavirus caused such a problem. She's had to go into selling other things.
Check out the old-fashioned kettle. Here it comes.
She couldn't pass on passing holiday trade because the border was shut. So now she does second hand. And
See, what happened was when they shut the border, they couldn't, people had no reason to drive down there. It's like you driving down to a dead-end road. There's no reason to go down there. And people were just staying over there in Brisbane. People in Warwick weren't going to drive down there. People from Stanthorpe weren't going to drive down there. And she was really right out on the edge of a tree branch limb on the very end of a leaf, really. And therefore then she made no money there for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. The only people who ever come down and made any money out of her was the police manning the barricades and the Queenslanders that come down to look at the border, to look at the barricade. Then the Queenslanders would walk across and they'd have a hamburger and then they'd drive back into Queensland looking at the New South Wales people on the other side of the barricade. And that's the only reason she made any money. That's why she's selling clothes and all this junk, because she couldn't rely on a tourist train because there was none. Make sense?
novelty and plates.
Here comes a kettle.
All
You
sorts
check
of
out this
shit.
kettle.
Look,
Where is it?
swans, teacup sets, pictures of islands on them, birds on them.
There it is, the yellow kettle. See it? Oh, I love it.
And it's here, look. Lizard on a pole. Trees that look like fingers. Anyway, that's it for me here at Wallangarra. Oh, look. See that old kettle? That's what I had when I was a kid, when I was with my grandmother.
They got to pick it up. 35
that's
bucks,
my
I think.
charge, I think.
$35, I think she was for it. That's a collectible.
That's a kettle. How much has she got on that?
35.
I can't even see it. This is what we used to use to boil the jug. See? There's the lead in there. See that white coil down there, the white stripe thing? That pours the water. Look, it's got the plugs. What's you got on that? $45.
$45.
Smith, eh? How could you get something like that? The problem is with that, if you break that coil, you can never get another one. It's antique. That's 1960s, 1950s. Yep. $59. Oh, see? You can't see it. You can see it better than that. Lovely. Everything's here.
$39.
Anyway,
On
beautiful Pilbury standing here. So Mr. Hominoid, hominoidsaustralia@gmail.com, or you can look up the Wallangarra Railway Station website. And you can contact the lady and tell her whatever you want to do. If you want to make a booking, come out here for multi-party or whatever you want to.
Anyway, yeah, that's that one. Where's my hamburger? Oh, here it is. You want to see a Wallangarra hamburger?
That is a Wallangarra restaurant hamburger.
You like a Wallangarra hamburger?
Yeah, egg, bacon, tomato.
Is that big enough?
One cup of coffee, $15. I didn't want chips.
Is that big enough or what?
The thing was started up 25 years ago. Anyway,
25 years ago, I started that up.
into a big dining restaurant.
Oh, I started
That's
that. Am I good? Am I fucking good? Am I good? That's what I foreseen 25 years ago. Isn't that gorgeous?
I think all the soldiers that come through here in World War II, they walked in these doors here on the right for a meal. Okay, those doors there on the left. Gone on Queensland train and never come back home from the war. What? What?
I love me Wallangarra. Anyway, now to really put a sour note on it, I always tell people, oh, what is the highest elevation? Here we go, Ben Lomond, New South Wales, highest railway line, New South Wales.
Here we go. Ben Lomond Railway Station.
Look, number 7 railway.
Highest elevation, 1,377 metres
Meters.
above sea
Metres.
level. And look what's there.
Number
Right,
7
mate,
railway.
number
The
7.
one from Patterson, the one that was
And
down
look,
at
it's snowing.
Bangalore.
That's Patterson. So that's
Oh,
now,
that train gets
Ben
around, man.
Lomon's
That
better had a
train
bit of a
gets around,
change.
man.
You just got
Here it comes. Now check this out. Can you see it? 4,473 feet above sea. And that is the one I put in to do you want to be a millionaire question. And he asked a question. He said, what is the highest railway station in New South Wales? Was it Goulburn, Katoomba, Mount Victoria, or Ben Lomond? And the bloke turned around and he said, well, I know Katoomba's up pretty high. You got the Three Sisters. But he said, I know that you drive up to Mount Victoria. He said, I'll say Mount Victoria. Nope. There it is there. Ben Lomond, 4,473 feet. If you just quickly remember, you looked at Wallangarra, that's only 2,200 feet. So you work out how much 2,000 feet. That's a pretty long way up. That's pretty, you're up in the cloud layers. And that's where I bought my truck. And what happens is you stand there and a cloud comes in, you'll drop down to 0 degrees from 25 degrees. Yeah, 0 degrees from 25 degrees Celsius. And that's what happened to me at Ben Lomond when I bought my truck. Cloud come in on every bloody froze. So look, 4,473. Now let's quickly go back up here to Wallangarra, which is, where did it go? Somebody took it. Where did Wallangarra go? Where's Wallangarra? Whoop, somebody took Wallangarra. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we go, Wallangarra. Righto. Let's quickly.
hello, everybody.
And what? Where's the sign? Hang on, back up. There you go. 2,882 feet. And what was it? 4,400. So 1,600 feet higher. So that is not as high as Ben Lomond. And yet it's in Queensland. People think it's higher, but it's not. So 2,882. Cool, eh? Isn't it marvelous what you learn when you look? And I'll show you something shocking. This will shock you. This is my leg after I got up to Ballina. You've got to weak stomach, don't look.
This is a Ballina. This is the size of my leg. I just took my sock off.
You reckon I don't have bad legs? Check that out.
See the size of my leg.
Is that blood or what?
I usually see the bones in the top of my foot.
That's up there with my son Chris, isn't it, Chris? So look, you can't even see the bones.
Your leg is so
Now look.
swollen.
See, look. See? You can see the bones. In my feet, you can actually see the bones.
This is from the drive.
Same foot. What?
The Ballina.
See? You can see the bones.
And then
That one there, you can't see it.
ultrasound done.
Man, I was in a bad way.
Dr. Henry Chow in St. Mary's. It was done at the Northern.
It doesn't look normal. Life sucks sometimes. Oh, this is a funny one. This is Bendemeer. This is where my first time I ever drove north up to New England by myself. And I ran over a kangaroo and I pulled in this service station back at the time, back in 1979, 1978. And I bought a packet of chips and a packet of chips, and I filled up my car with petrol, and then I drove off and I left them behind. I was so still shaken up. Check it out. This is the old servo, 1978, 79.
Yeah, so that's where I pulled the petrol. And I bought a bottle of drink, I put it on the roof of the car and the VC Valiant, and I drove off. And then as I drove off out of town, I lost the chips on the side of the road back in 1978. So, reenacting, I come in there with a bottle of drink, paid with my bank card, and I come down here, and you can see the sweep there on the road. I went over the old bridge.
The corner, the chips went flying.
And I said, oh, let me out of Bendemeer.
Bendemeer. Yeah, that's the name of the town, Bendemeer.
Oh, sorry. And then,
Oh, everybody's friendly up there. No
check
one's
this
going
out. This is the Bendemeer Hotel.
Check
This is what the lady was talking about. 1864. Look at this for a big pub. And you wonder why you have such a great big pub in a town with no people.
I'll tell you why.
As you might notice, four-wheel drive and a four-wheel drive.
They're all farmers. This is where all your
Look at
lamb
the size of this pub.
chops come from. This is where
So
all
if
your
you got the money, spend $100 a night, you come and spend the night here.
This is what I was saying before about bring trains back up there, because this is where all your land comes from and all your beef cattle. This is where it all comes from. That's where you see all these four-wheel drives. So that's why I was trying to educate city people when I said, about trains. Anyway, so Mr. Hominoid, oh, look, you're going to like this last one. That is very particularly in trains. Mother baby Gladys, New South Wales, can we have our trains back? Well, I'm going to have to change it now because she's gone. Mullumbimby, Gladys, very a shame on you, Mullumbimby. Oh, all right, okay. You get to see a big crown. This is a bit of beach you'll never ever see again in your life because you're not allowed to go over there.
You're not going to believe where I'm standing.
Here we go. You ready for it? I am on the railway ground on the Queen's Crown Head Bridge where you are not allowed to go. All the other cars, all the other cameras are over there on the road.
This is built back in 1886. 1886. And all these bricks were hand kilned all around here. Now, I'm showing you photos that nobody has ever videoed before. This video is never been seen before.
Because nobody's allowed in there, right? Because this is railway
comes over here.
You're
There's
not
the
allowed
road
in
over
there.
there with the new bridge.
Only I'm allowed in there.
See what happens? See it bends in the middle, the supports give way. And that's a Queen's, that's half a Queen's crown. Yeah, I inspected that bridge back in 1995. I had to walk up there. I'm not keen on doing it anymore, especially down in there by myself, late on a Monday afternoon. See, hand kilned local bricks. I didn't bring these bricks up here from Sydney.
See, all these people built the other side. They don't see this side.
You will never see the railway bridge. 1886. It's been closed down since 1980. The views you're getting here are one of a kind. See all this dirt?
That's ballast.
See, this is floodwater. I'll stand back.
That's railway ballast.
Get the camera back the other way. Show you. See, floodwater. Got it now.
Floodwater comes the other way.
It's washed the facial out. That's what all this ballast. All this here has come from up there. See, look, I can see sunlight. Look at this.
My leg was swollen. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. You'll never see that again in your life.
Granite.
You're not allowed to walk down there. That's granite. Hand carved.
And look at the debris up there on top of the bridge.
See, I told you, look, there's the same piece of wood sitting up there from that other
the tree
picture.
branches?
See, look, see the
See how
truck
high
going
that
around?
goes
Yeah,
underwater?
look.
Right up to there. I'll be way underwater. So there's the original road bridge over there. So this is what they call the Queen's Crown Bridge. See? It's a Queen's Crown. And that's what I did, people. I inspected all these sorts of bridges all over the state of New South Wales. I had to get up there and walk across and walk by my little self. You see the sunlight through the holes?
You
See
check
the
it
holes,
out.
the sunlight?
Look at the shape of the wood.
Look at this here. So this is sediment. See, the flood water goes that way. See the sediment? The water runs either side. See the sediment? The water goes through there and dumps all that there behind because the ballast has come out of up there and up there. And therefore then it holds it. Let's go and have a look. It's rained a bit round here.
If you look up, you see the wood.
Look out
right
and
up
see
the
how
top
fresh
of
this
the brick.
water is.
See it? Right up the top.
No other YouTubers ever come down underneath this bridge. They stood up there beyond the fence line and used drones, or they stand over there on the bridge over there and take photos. They don't get down here amongst all the real, see, a couple of cow patties, a couple of Bigfoot Yarry walks. Yeah, there's fish in the water. What do we got? We got fish or we got frogs? No, we actually got fish. Hello, something's been walking down here. Is it a Bigfoot? I don't know. I think it's more like a cow. And that's weird. I don't see any cows down here. Somebody's been walking up around over here, look. They walk over here in the grass and walk around. Probably a cow come in here to drink. Can't imagine 12 months ago, see the railway ballast? There's a hole.
Well, that's just so swollen. I'm going to get a drink of water. You watch.
Oh man, I can't even bend but seriously.
Me not in pain.
My back is and my legs are aching like anything. I'm not allowed here by myself.
I'm 800 kilometres out of Sydney.
Are you here to save me?
There's no one out there to look after me. There's no one out there to save me.
Yep, that's fresh river water. Anyway, I can't.
Right, now here's a quick question for you. 2 hours and 5 minutes. Right, here I am on Glen. I said the other night, where does that water go? Now, you notice how the water's going there to my left and the highway's on my far right. It's going to South Australia. It's going to Adelaide. Have a look. The water is flowing away from the road bridge. It's heading west.
Anyway,
it's going to South Australia, Adelaide.
I can't get up there. And I can't get.
So that water there, within 3 weeks, was in Adelaide and South Australia. So by end of January, that water was coming out in Adelaide and then coming down around past the bottom end of Victoria. It's hard to imagine, but yes, that's where that water goes, all the way down to Adelaide in South Australia.
Up there, so I don't need a mileage mark. I've already got them at home. Well, I just thought I'd show you Queen's Crown Bridge.
Well, look, if that water wasn't going west, why isn't there any debris up there on that side of the bridge? Why is it on the other side, the eastern side? Because the water's going from east to west. There you go. So from Mr. Hominoid, good night. I just proved the point again. I do know what I'm talking about. And Mr. Hominoid@gmail.com, and send me an email if you appreciate that. And I just proved the point. The water at Tenterfield goes.
I can't
west.
get up there. No, I can't get up there, so I don't need.
Right.
River water.
See, water
anyway.
goes west. Back again. I'll just show you again. Water goes west.
My legs are aching like anything.
Look, see?
I'm not allowed here by myself.
Water's going west.
Are you here to save me?
So that water there is going to Adelaide, or went to Adelaide back in January last year, or January this year. Anyway, Mr. Hominoid, good night, people. Be good. See you later. Oh, isn't that a pretty picture? So, yeah.